How are you today, Sabrina?
You know, day by day. Day by day. We're just, it's one of those days. It's the last day of November.
Mm-hmm.
December is quickly approaching. So make sure y'all are watching your Christmas movies. Your Christmas trees are up. My Christmas tree's already up.
Man, I am super, super excited for these next 2 months. It's going to be a journey of the podcast, of wrestling, of us. It's going to be so fun. But obviously, you have your host,
Sabrina and
Harley. And today, we have half of the SPF, aka South Philly's finest. We have Luca Brasi.
Hey, yo. What's happening, ladies? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course, Mr. Jimmy Conway was supposed to be here, but he's like, I don't got time for you guys.
No, he's just very busy. He's very busy.
let me go get my earphones because your dad said there's a bad echo on my side. So give me 1 second.
Bad echo. No echoes. We don't do echoes.
Well, how are you today?
I'm all right. It's another day. It's hump day. Getting over the hump.
Yeah, Sabrina was like, we gotta get them on. She was so like dominant. She's like, SPF, Luca, we've gotta have them on, They're the man. And I'm like, oh my God. She was telling me, she was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This is gonna be a great episode. And then I'm like, oh, well, Jimmy's not gonna be coming on. She's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, it's
we're gonna
fun.
get him on. We got to make sure that our schedules match up properly because you guys bombarded me at the PPW event.
That was Sabrina.
Bombarded me a little bit. Came at me a little bit. I'm just kidding. But no, we'll get them on here for sure. We definitely want to do one together for you guys.
Yeah,
sure. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
Yeah,
I could hear you the first time.
I know, but I was hearing someone heard an echo. I gotta please my fans,
Like, excuse me.
No, but we really are honored that you're here. Obviously, Harley probably said that already, but it's really cool because Harley and I, when we do these podcasts, we always talk about how long we've known these people, and I think I've known you since I was 14 years old, and it's crazy how much you've evolved, not with just like your character, but as a person, because like it's crazy to see the changes, and especially in myself from like back in the day to now. It's great, and we're honored to have you. You guys were definitely on the top of my list for sure to come on a podcast.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, Sabrina's like, we've got to have them on. So I'm like, okay, we'll try.
You guys are the sweetest. I appreciate you guys. I've known you for a little while. Yeah, I remember that first event. So it has been a long journey, just rolling with the punches. So, but no, I'm all about it. I'm definitely appreciate you guys having me on here. I'm pretty excited. Whatever questions you've got ready to throw my way, I'm ready to answer them. Let's knock them out the park.
Battle it out.
Let's do it. Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So should we start out with the first question?
Go for it.
Who trained you?
Who trained me? Well, honestly, it started way back when I was about 19 years old. I had met with a gentleman by the name of Bill Daly and another gentleman by the name of Buzz Bentley. They had just started their own little wrestling school, just trying to, get a couple of us together, just trying to really see if this was something that we really wanted to pursue. Because a lot of us growing up, everybody liked wrestling, but it was a matter of who actually loves it and who's actually willing to kind of see if this was something that they really wanted to try and pursue. So that was the initial step. Got trained by them first. First time I took a bump was from Bill Daly and Buzz Bentley. But shortly after that, I had decided to actually join the Wild Samoans under Alpha the Wild Samoan himself, WWE Hall of Famer. This was short, like roughly about maybe 2 months before he had left for Florida.
Yeah,
So
wow.
that was pretty much the main start of my journey.
Yeah. I remember seeing you wrestle for a long time. Like from Hazleton, obviously, like you were at PPW in Hazleton and now you're in Broad. I was just a little you were even tiny. You were just
I
itty
was
bitty.
I was a little young kid, little kid. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you were little kids.
Just little
The
kids.
little man.
No,
We're all just kids.
yeah.
Kids chasing a dream.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I gotta say, I was about to say my podcast. It's our podcast, so I can say what I want on here.
Oh
But I
shoot.
Oh,
personally,
oh.
I personally think that you do a lot more work in the ring than Jimmy. But no hate towards Jimmy. No,
Oh, why you gotta do all that? Why you gotta say all that? No. Here's the thing. When it comes to the way our tag team works, we have a certain formula. And when I mean formula, I mean we have a game plan of how we know we want to attack every single match. Like when we look at every single match, it's it's like going through the playbook. It's okay, let's study our opponents, let's see what they do. Let's How can we do better? What can we bring to this table that will kind of just uh put us in the right direction. So when it comes to when it comes to it, at the end of the day, I like getting beat up a little bit. You know what I mean? I like getting in there and mixing it up because I'm always the small guy in the ring, and everybody thinks the small guy is easy pickings, and I don't play that. I'm a little pit bull, so I let Jimmy hang out in the corner when I need him. He's right there. He's always there when I need him. So that's not the case when it comes to in ring. Jimmy definitely knows what he's doing. I think probably in the near future, you guys are going to be a little bit more surprised on what my buddy can do for sure.
I mean, I'm shocked with every time I come to PPW of what y'all do because I never know how you guys are gonna come out to the ring. I know that the baby powder is always gonna be there,
yeah.
and I'm Harley. I tell you, Sunday they went past me, and all they had was a nice whiff of baby powder, and it was nice. It was like cleaning my palate from all the sweaty nonsense that was going on in the ring. But I was like, every time I smell baby powder now, I think of South Philly's
Yeah.
finest.
Well, absolutely. All that man musk, you got to clean that up a little bit. So we figured it's a good way to help out.
As you should.
But
But who
want to complain?
right? Who got you into wrestling? Like who inspired you to be like, this is what I want to do?
Well, we always everybody will tell you, oh, I always liked it as a kid. There are always those times where, it's bedtime, but I'm staying up late, just kind of have the TV on mute, but watching The Rock, watching Stone Cold. But I think what really got me to decide this is what I'm actually going to pursue. When say Jimmy and I were about 14, 15, that's when him and I met for the first time. We had all had mutual friends that were really big into wrestling. We had an opportunity to kind of actually get into a ring. We had rented one out for a birthday party. And we had to, a bunch of us got together. We're like, oh, you know what? This might be something cool that we can really do together. And, you think at the time, there's like 30 guys all together. And it's like, oh, yeah, we're all one big team and we're going to do this. But, obviously, you start to weed out, who's really going to do it, who's really not.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I've known Jimmy for, like I said, since he was 14, since I was 15. And over time with the group of friends that we had and even our friendship, especially Jimmy too, because he was obviously really big in the wrestling right from the beginning. It was just, we were getting together for every pay-per-view. We were putting money together to buy the pizza and buy the wings and buy the soda every single pay-per-view. We were getting together for Raw. We were getting together for SmackDown. Saturday main events, didn't matter what it was. We were always getting together for it. All this group of guys just watching it. And from there, as we got older, it was then an opportunity came to us where it's like, hey, if you really want to pursue this for real, show up here at this day at this time. Just be ready to work, and let's see who really wants to do this or not. So out of about like 30 of us, and I'm honestly lowballing it. It was actually a lot more than 30 because I know Jimmy and I counted it out like the other day. It's probably like 40 guys, honestly, probably like 40 to 50. But I'd say out of all of us, only about like maybe 5 or 6 actually pursued it, and about maybe 3 or 4 of us are left still going.
Oh, wow.
So at this point, what keeps me going, to be honest, is obviously my tag partner. He's a lot of motivation for me, but obviously you guys as well. You guys have been great supporters of our careers from the beginning. So I definitely appreciate the both of you guys. But just the fans as a whole, all the supporters as a whole, you guys are what really keeps me going and what keeps me wanting to do this. Um, I always liked it, grew to love it over time of watching it, getting to have some pretty good friends out of it, meeting my best friend out of it. And at this point, then being able to kind of share my happiness with you guys as fans and supporters and everybody that just comes out to the shows and is always cheering, whether it's for myself, my tag partner, or anybody else on the show. It's just awesome to be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But okay, so this could be towards like you as an independent wrestler, like just yourself, or you and Jimmy as a tag. But what would you say is like your guys' dream opponent, or like your dream opponent, or like a match that you wish to have?
Oh gosh. Well, at this point, I would say, and I think Jimmy would agree with me. Now, what like we obviously, who wouldn't love to go against a team like FTR? That would be like big time dream. But what a team that Jimmy and I would absolutely, and I know he would definitely agree with me on this, the Briscoes. The Briscoe brothers, that would be like a dream match for us. Those guys, we've always kind of looked to them as like the gatekeepers of pro wrestling, as if you kind of understand what I'm putting down here.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of inspiration from them. We studied them pretty much their whole careers. So, for as far as like a dream match, as far as like dream opponents, those two would definitely be two guys I would love to mix it up with for sure. And I know for a fact Jimmy would agree with me.
Yeah, that'd be a great match.
One day, maybe. Keep
You
your
never
high
know.
hopes.
You never know.
Okay, so Sabrina, if you have a question, you can ask it.
You do realize this is all coming off the top of my head today, right?
All coming off the top of the dome. So what you got for me, sister? Let it fly out. What you got for me, sister?
Obviously, I've seen y'all be the baby face at PPW. You guys are the nice guys. And I've seen you guys be heels. Now, which one do you guys prefer to be?
Oh, we're breaking kayfabe, huh? Oh shit. Can I say the shit word?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. Shit. All right. Well, no. If you want to just shoot straight to it, as far as who we are, I think, and he definitely would say, the best of us is through heel. As far as what I personally enjoy, depends on the mood. I'll be honest. It depends on what mood I'm in. I do honestly get a kick out of being a babyface because being a kid, I always, you always want to be a hero. You look up to, you watch the Batman animated series and Superman, and you always think to yourself, oh man, I want to be a hero. I want to be that guy that gets cheered. So I always kind of get like a guilty pleasure out of being a babyface. Can't lie about it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I like seeing you guys more as a heel, but that's just my preference.
Oh, I have fun. I get to have a little bit more fun. Well, a lot more fun as a heel. And I think you really get to see what Jimmy and I can do a lot more, and really kind of see what we take with our, with what we're doing at South Philly's Finest. I think you really get to see that as in a much better perspective as heel versus babyface. Although we're going to kick your ass no matter what.
I think I saw them at the brewery, Harley. That's where I saw them as being heel. And I remember Jimmy telling me, hey, the brewery, come on out and check it out. I was like, okay. So I wore their merch thinking they're going to be the baby face, right? Wore their merch.
Go for it.
And
You
Jimmy
got your
pointed
hook,
at
line,
me.
and sinker.
Right. Jimmy pointed at me and went, shut your face. And then he told me afterwards, like, you almost made me break character because you're wearing our merch. I was like, yeah, well, then you told me to shut my face. But like, I feel though, as a heel, like you said, you can pretty much say anything, and people are going to be like, well, that's because they're a heel. They can say it. But as a baby face, I feel, now correct me if I'm wrong, like you have to be more like cautious of what you say in the ring.
Yes. Baby, when it comes to being a baby face, I mean, there's a lot of those, what we would consider those mom's apple pie, vanilla ice cream baby faces. Just the very, very plain and just yay, cheer for me. But it's also in how you make it. Yeah. Take Stone Cold, for example. I think we'd like to pride ourselves on being the more badass baby faces, if you could say. Being able to kind of still be the trick is we still get to be ourselves, but at the same time, we get to put smiles on everybody else's faces.
Yeah. And it's definitely nice to see the smiles on, especially like people like Harley and Gavin's face. Because when I started, I was looking at the fans when you guys came out, and I was like, wow, like they're really a crowd favorite. Harley was like, yeah, with her poster. And then Gavin, of course, is like the star of PPW's freaking costume changes.
Yeah.
So
little Gavin is the man.
He is the man. We say this every podcast. Like, we give props to him, man. We love that man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Gavin and his pop. Shout outs to Gavin and his pop for sure. Those guys are awesome. I remember the first time I saw him dress up as us, and that was it. I was like, oh, this kid has taste. This kid has good taste. I like this kid. And you know what? Him and his father are two heck of artists for sure. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see any of the drawings that they do for some of the workers, but Gavin and his pops definitely put the work in for sure.
Oh,
I've seen their drawings. They've drawn a couple. They've actually drawn us before, and it comes out. Yeah.
Harley, it's your turn.
What you got for me, Harley?
Okay, I have a question. Did you always I don't know how to word it, but did you think that you always wanted to be like a tag team, or did you did it just come to you, or would you prefer to be like, you know what I'm trying to say?
To be honest, I wasn't really sure what I wanted when I first came in. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a singles wrestler or a tag team wrestler. But being in a tag team for pretty much my entire career, I know that I made the right choice. Because believe it or not, tag team wrestling is a lost art. It's something that, in my personal opinion, and I know Jim would agree with me, I think it just doesn't get as much as appreciation as it should. Because you're combining two styles of two different people together to create, one cohesive team to go out there and really put on something special, really put on a spectacle. So you have to imagine the chemistry and the time that goes into being able to build a relationship like that. So now imagine you have two teams now that have put that same work in. Imagine the type of match, imagine the type of magic that they're actually able to put together. For us, tag team wrestling is absolutely like magic. You're putting at least four minds together and just kind of letting the creativity flow. And when there's chemistry, obviously with yourself and your tag partner, but also with your opponents, that's when you can really, kind of just take that match everywhere. That's when you're definitely hitting the home run for sure.
No, I definitely agree. I think I don't know about Sabrina, but I personally love those type of matches, like the tag teams or like the rumbles where there's just so many men, or like Danny.
So many men.
Or
Harley's growing up, guys.
So many men.
Harley's growing up.
Too, though. So
Sad part is I did the same thing. I'm like, yo, when there's so many men in the ring, I'm like, where do I look? I don't know. There's a lot of testosterone in the ring right now.
Goodness. Oh goodness.
No, but something I do want to ask you guys, because you guys have been, around for so long. How do you guys like keep evolving and keep like changing it up a little bit? Because like I've noticed like subtle changes from way back when I was 14 to now, and it's like you guys do like little subtle changes. Like, how do you keep it new and evolve?
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, it comes, it's also going back to the chemistry of the tag team. Jimmy and I have been best friends for, oh my God, going on almost 2 decades now. Oh, and we get together almost every single day, like practically every single day. Him and I get together and we're talking wrestling. We're trying to figure out, what's the next move? What are we going to do next? How are we going to look? What are we going to say? What are we going to come out with? What are we going to do? Just anything and anything and everything on what we can do different to stand out. We know that we're going to get the attention that we want because we're going to come out through that curtain and we're going to demand it. So we know we're going to get it because we're going to demand it, and the thing is too is when with that chemistry. You just never really stop learning. What's great about being in a tag team is there's 2 minds. So certain things he's going to think of, certain things I'm going to think of. We're going to come together. We're going to start coming up with different transitions, things together. And that's when you really get to see magic. Again, to me, it's all magic. It's all Disney. It's all magic. It's just, now let's put on the show. I'm not going to tell you my secrets because the magician never reveals the secrets. But what I am going to do is I'm going to give you a great show. Ultimately, wrestling is, in my personal opinion, it's a live action movie. Because you've seen, I'm sure you guys have seen, your Marvel movies and whatnot, and you enjoy it. It's a movie. It's our job now to do it for you live.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, I think, for us versus, obviously going to a movie theater, you're checking out, you're watching your favorite Marvel film and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, that's so cool. But also at the same time, that it's a movie. But now you're coming to a wrestling match, you get to see like even that still shot of Logan Paul and Roman Reigns, where Logan Paul's suspended in the air with his fist out, same thing Roman Reigns, and it looks like a real life anime fight. So as workers, that's what our job is to try and you guys already know it's a show. You guys already know we're there to entertain. But the trick is to then get you guys to understand, well, I know this is a show, but how did they do that? Like that might have looked real. How did they do that? Where did that come from? It's still trying to suspend the belief.
No, yeah.
I ask myself that question all the time. I don't know how they're doing this, but okay. let's watch it.
Right. No, I discussed it with her and I'm like, they can continue to do this, but as for me being a wrestler, I'd love to. But taking those bumps and doing those crazy things, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll stick my behind on the outside of the ring.
In the bleachers.
I'm definitely getting old. I'm definitely starting to feel it as these days go by. Not so much as a spring chicken anymore. So got to stay on that DDP yoga. Shout outs to DDP yoga.
Harley, did you just call Luca old?
Oh no! I agree. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, age is just a number. All I'm saying is that I got a decent number. Age is just a number, but your boy's got a decent number.
No, I get it. And like, when we go to these wrestling events, I'll tell you straight out, I am always the one, no matter who you guys are facing. Okay, well, wait a minute. There's certain people I will root against them for. But most of the time I'm going, SPF, like, let's go. And Harley, the last show, was like, Sabrina, no, we are not rooting for SPF this show. Like, what? Why?
Oh, what's that about? Yeah,
it was Jimmy. It was mostly Jimmy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's
Let
Jimmy.
me ask you a question. We're on your podcast, but now I'm going to ask you a question. What's with all the heat, Harley?
It's
What's with
not.
all the heat recently, Harley?
It's not.
On the spot.
Just waking up, choosing violence today, huh?
I mean,
Just
yeah.
woke up, just like, you know what, today I'm just gonna choose violence. We're not gonna cheer for SPF today. But we're
Yeah.
gonna ask them to be on our podcast. I mean, they like us. They'll say yes, right?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
Well, Harley mostly, I could tell you, it was probably mostly me that was like, we got to get SPF on the podcast.
I appreciate you. Sabrina. You, Harley. I still appreciate you. You still rock the merch. You know what I mean? I know you still do your thing. It's all good. But I'm watching you. Let's
Like
keep
I
the
said,
heat down to a minimum, huh? I'll tell you what. If you bring the heat down to a minimum, I will put a lot more effort into making sure Jimmy gets on this podcast. Is that fair?
man, I don't know, man.
She don't see, like, what's with all the heat? So much heat. I can feel it through the screen right now.
I can feel it, and I'm not even a part of this heat right now.
So much heat right now. So unnecessary. That's okay. You're still a buddy, I guess.
It's the whole, you're still a buddy.
You're still a buddy. You still get to be a bud. Don't worry. You still get to be a bud. You're not out of the gang yet. But you're pushing it.
You're pushing it. Don't push it.
You're pushing it. You're not out of the gang yet, but you're pushing it.
Oh man, it's getting deep in here.
Real deep.
I should probably put my feet up at this point.
Get some popcorn, maybe some soda.
No, but it's funny because Harley and I had this podcast, and we always have like totally different opinions on who we're rooting for in every single match. And it was crazy because the 6-man tag team match with Johnny Moran. It was championship material, Tommy Mitchell and Johnny Moran. And then was it you guys? No, it was Trevor Kage and Nolan Pierce. And literally I was rooting for Tom Mitchell. She's over here going, yay, go Tom. Johnny Moran, you suck. I was like, yeah.
That's how it is. Like, that's like.
But aren't they on the same team?
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's like you guys. I cheer for you. I boo Jimmy. I cheer for Tom. I boo John.
I feel like you're a habitual line stepper. I feel like you're not, now that you're in your teen years, I feel like you're learning to become a habitual line stepper. I feel like you're just like stepping over that line for some strange reason. Like pushing the envelope all of a sudden.
In Harley's defense, though, she's not the only one that picks, because I only root for championship material because of Mr. Ruda. Like, I don't like Joey or Penny, but I root for Mr. Ruda.
Who would like Joey? Who would like Joey?
But again, I've known him for as long as I've known you guys, but you guys are just better.
Well, make sure you tell Joey that.
Oh, I tell Joey that all the time. And
make sure you tell Joey
he goes,
that.
Okay.
He knows.
Man, it's getting hot in here. We need to open a window.
Maybe over there it's getting hot. It's nice and cool.
Right, because there's a bunch of heat all over there. Maybe you need to turn the temp down a little bit.
Yeah, can you put it down to like simmer a little bit, like just simmer.
Turn it down to like a nice, easy, slow cooker.
Wow. No, it's funny because before you came on this podcast, she goes, I don't care. It's our podcast. I'm going to say how I feel on this podcast.
I mean, hey, I respect it. It is your podcast. I do appreciate being a guest on it. But, at the same time, I'm going to come at you, sister. The hat is backwards. I'm ready to come at you, sister. You're gonna come at me with some heat. I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey.
No, there's a certain character, that every time you guys come out, it's definitely a party. I say, because it's like in a big get together, because you have your people on the other side of us, usually Harley. Sorry, I'm taking a little bit of the heat off you, and that says, "Hey, yo." And just to see the support that you guys have from the fans is great. So, like, when you guys come out, I know there's going to be a sign over there. This is "Hey, yo." There's going to be a "What's up" in the freaking ring. There's going to be a titty twister in the ring. Like, it's a whole party.
The titty twister, that's definitely Jimmy's thing. That's definitely 100% Jimmy's thing. But no, we've been with PPW since the very beginning, since their very first show. So it's definitely, a home away from home. We have a lot of the same people we've seen from the very first show are still there, still showing their support. And not just for us, they're showing support for the entire PPW roster, which is awesome. What I think PPW has is definitely a nice, good, family, homegrown type of business going there. And what's nice is that you still get to see a lot of the same fans from back in the day that are still coming. They're even getting newer people coming in from all over the place. Like I can't tell you how many times I talk to people. They're like, "Oh yeah, we drove like 4 hours out," and it's like, "Wow, you really came all the way out here just for PPW?" And it's like, "Yeah, we came out to see you guys," and it's such a humbling experience every single time. I look forward to coming to PPW because PPW always does feel like a party. It always does feel like, all right, we're gonna go there, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna go show off for a little bit. But at the same time, we also look at you guys as family as well, because it is a home away from home. We've been there since the very first show, so to still be there after all this time is definitely an honor. It's definitely a privilege that we don't take very lightly. But at the same time, I'm starting to enjoy the crowd even that much more now. They used to be at a different area up in Hazleton, as you guys know, and you would see some signs, but I think now you're starting to see a lot more people just coming out with their own signs for all different types of workers and everybody coming out. So I'm loving the evolution with PPW over the years. It's pretty awesome to watch, and it's even better yet to be a part of.
Yeah, like I mean, Harley and I talk about this on every podcast. Like it feels like a family reunion every time PPW is, because like you're seeing people that you saw like last month, and they're like, "So, like, what's been going on? It's so nice to see you." And it's crazy because I've only been going there since April, and I already feel like, wow, this is like a home away from home for me as well, because I get to see Harley, I get to see you guys, like I get to see a whole bunch of people that I haven't seen and then I haven't met sometimes. So like it's nice, and it's like I said to Harley, I got out of the wrestling. Like I didn't like wrestling for a while, for a few years, and then I finally got back into it because Jimmy kept saying, "Come on, when are you gonna come to a show? When are you gonna go to a show?" So I finally bit the bullet and came to a show at PPW and been there ever since.
It's not biting the bullet. You finally decided, you know what? Why not? Let's come back to something that you used to enjoy, and now you found enjoyment in it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now look at you got a podcast with Harley. She's a jerk, but it's all good. Yeah.
I know it's crazy because like Harley and I, we talked about this too. Like our age difference, we're like 10 years apart, but like mentally,
like sisters.
We're on the same level.
Yeah,
you guys are sisters.
Yeah, for sure. Except she ditched me with the hair color over here.
Oh, was it where you guys like supposed to have the same hair color?
No, it's kind of like I had pink, she had red, so it's kind of like, oh, like the reds and the pinks, right? So like now she's got like purple.
Yeah.
So then I think maybe now she's putting the ball in your court. She's expecting you to go purple, or like I'll tell you what, like maybe just go completely out of the box. Go like turquoise.
Well, I do have a hair appointment tomorrow.
Turquoise.
But it's a surprise. We're not going to tell anybody what I'm doing until tomorrow's podcast.
So. That means that she doesn't know what she's doing yet, folks.
No, I put it in my hairdresser's hands.
Like a
so you don't know what you're doing with it tomorrow.
I just know it's not going to be blonde. That's all I know.
We call that working on the fly. So we're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it.
You got to change it up. We can't have the same look for our podcast. We got to change it up every once in a while.
That's fair. She went purple, so we'll see what you come out with.
She went purple and I'm in my kitchen, so.
Get some like leopard prints, some leopard spots.
Leopard prints? Maybe I'll just, just go bald at this point. Wear wigs.
Yeah. You'll be twins with Ruda.
I won't. Match Ruda.
There you go.
I don't think I could ever get on Ruda's level with the baldness.
That'd be a rude awakening. Wow.
However, I was talking to him before the podcast, and he wants to know when you guys are going to turn heel so he can be your manager.
Oh man.
So Mr. Ruda wants to be the manager of South Philly's finest. Huh?
He wants to be the manager of everyone, to be honest with you.
Tell Ruda he needs to find me. Okay, we're gonna now. Have you ever see now, Harley? You might be too young for this, but all right, Sabrina. Yeah, that's right. Don't give me that face. Sabrina, maybe you might recall this. You remember Making the Band?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Harley, since you're just a wee little child, let me explain to you what Making the Band is. What Making the Band was this show hosted by P. Diddy. He would have a group that he was trying to basically make into an actual band, and he would send them on wild tasks in order to stay in the band. Okay, and I'm talking about the most wild tasks that you could possibly find. So, you tell Ruda that if he wants to be the manager of South Philly's finest, I'm going to send him on a P. Diddy-esque type Making the Band journey. Tell him that I want a glass of your finest Cambodian breast milk along with the sweetest tofu chocolate cupcake from New York. He's got to walk it over to me, got to keep it on a silver platter. No spillage. I will know. No spillage. He's got to have a smile on his face at all times, and he's got to wear the foot sandals.
He's got to wear the foot sandals. I can't see him wearing the foot sandals. I don't. It's not a look. It's not a look.
If he wants to be part of the band, he's got to wear the foot sandals.
All right, you heard it. You heard it, Ruda, because I know you listen to our podcast, so you
foot
heard
sandals,
it.
Rude. Otherwise, it's going to be a rude awakening.
You know, I mean, we're going to transition to BPW for just a second.
Let's do it.
But how was that experience compared to PPW? Was it nice to be a part of the Samoan journey, or what?
Well, I'll tell you what. What was nice about being at BPW, it is sort of like being back with the Samoans again. You know, Afa Anawahi, he's done a great job with BPW. The kids over there, they're really putting in the work. Like Trevor Kage, Trey Peterson, Dio Bando. They even got some, up and coming guys that I'm actually going to throw a couple names out there, like Bryce Freitas. He's a good kid. Another good kid out there, Joe, that's working pretty hard. He's got some good. He's definitely got some good kids and definitely got some up and coming talent coming out of there. And excuse me. And to see all the hard work that those kids, especially Afa himself, put in to get this BPW show. A lot of people looked at it as like, oh, this is BPW's big show. It's their first show, and really, no, it wasn't. It's actually a return show, because Afa did run Battlefield before. But now, what's wonderful to see is he's got his own training center with a big group of kids that love pro wrestling, but what most importantly, they also love him as a coach as well. So. Right. The camaraderie in that school, it really transcends into the shows. It is different. It is a bit different from, even though it's the same building, it's a bit different of an atmosphere with PPW versus BPW. But it's still a great environment either way. Again, no matter what, PPW is home away from home, but Battlefield, like I said, Battlefield did a great job at their return show. Project Lazarus, in my personal opinion, just took off without a doubt. Not a single hiccup as far as I could really tell. Great crowd, great venue, great talent, great card. So it really just kind of makes me more excited to see what they're going to do going forward. And again, like when you have a group of kids like that, another guy from there, even Phil Insane, like he's got a good group of kids there that really enjoy wrestling, that also really respect him as a coach. So absolutely. I think Afa has really done a great job with setting himself up properly for, whether it's whatever he wants to do with the school, with Battlefield as just the show in general. Anything that they want to do, I think they're going to be able to do it without any problems for sure. Especially with a guy like Alpha leading it and with the group of kids that he's got there, I think they're going to be just fine.
Oh yeah, like I was talking to Alpha, I think after, because I stood around and talked to people because that's what I do. That's what I do. So I was talking to him, and I said, so how do you think it went? He's like, I actually think it went really well. He's like, it was a little nerve-wracking to start the show, but we got it. We were a little late. Like he notices the little things, whereas like us as the fans, we wouldn't notice if anything was offbeat, nothing, because like we don't know what was supposed to happen. We don't know if you were supposed to get like, you know, flying out of the ring. We don't know. Whatever happens to us is supposed to happen. So it was really nice. But I'm excited for the next BPW show, which is in January. So
absolutely. Like what's awesome is now out of that building, you have two great companies in BPW and Battlefield that are now producing great product in the same building twice a month. So I think, you know, obviously everybody loves SmackDown and Raw, of course, but I think now this gives something, you know, especially for the local people to come out and enjoy. You know, you get to see young, hungry talent that is really trying to do something in this business. So, you know, you get to see what's really kind of, you know, you get to see the new up and comers. You get to see, you know, who are the guys really going for it.
And like, I mean, me and Harley, I think you'll agree. I prefer to go to the indie shows just because like it's just tight knit. Like you can get to know the wrestlers and and then see their journey. Like, I mean, Bro Keller's been on AEW Dark, Andretti's been on AEW Dark. So it's nice to see their journey in the wrestling industry. And so that's why I like to go to the indie shows. Like, I don't think maybe I'd go to an AEW show, but I don't think I would go. Don't look at me like that, Harley, because we're not going there today.
See, now what? Harley's giving you heat now.
Because she knows why I will only watch AEW, and I'm telling her we're not going there today on the podcast.
Oh, hold on. Don't do that. Now we're going to go there. Harley, where are we going?
Okay.
Let's go there. Where are we going?
No.
She doesn't watch WWE, so I'm like, yo, did you see this? No, I didn't see that. And then I'm like, oh, well, did you watch AEW? Yeah. Oh my God, did you see Cole Carter? Oh my God.
Oh.
I'm like,
oh God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just for Cole Carter.
I have a thing for pretty boys.
Okay, I
think it's just boys.
I honestly
think it's just boys.
Luca, you know me too well. You know me off camera. Yes, it's mostly boys.
Pretty sure it's just boys. So yeah. Sheesh.
I need to get myself a man's.
You need to get yourself a cold shower.
I am not that close to that.
You need a cold shower. And you need to get yourself together here, sister. We have a podcast to do. Don't get yourself all hot and bothered over Cole Carter.
Believe me.
Okay.
We're good.
I'm
calm.
I really shouldn't say this, but have either of you guys seen the Grown Up movie? I think it's like the second one where they go to the water park.
Oh, well, okay, with Adam Sandler, correct?
Yes. Okay.
I know what you're talking about, but I have not seen the water park one. No.
Okay. So you're gonna have to watch it to know. But in the movie, there's a guy, and I swear to God, I was telling my parents this is like earlier. There's a guy that looks exactly like Cole Carter in it, and there was like the moms from the Grown Ups, and they were like, "Oh, he's so hot." And then he was a lifeguard, so he came over and he walks in. His voice was like,
"Oh, is this Saskatchewan?" Yes. Cole Carter is definitely the Saskatoon guy from Grown Up movie. Perfect. Harley, we're cool again. That's what I'm talking about. Good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Have you ever seen that movie?
I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
My dogs are fighting upstairs. That's why I'm hearing. That's why I'm like,
Saskatoon. Wait. Oh no. Oh, so good. That's funny. That's terrible. Oh.
I was trying to go one podcast without that name, but it's okay.
Nope. This is another podcast down the drain for you.
Honestly, there's always two things that come up in our podcast. Always, because her and I talk about it afterwards. So we're good. The one, done. Checked off.
All right, so one is done. What's the other one?
Wow, look at the time. I got this to do.
Oh, so now we're getting to
It's a name that
Wow.
gets brought up in a lot of our podcasts. Hold on, my dogs are actually barking. Give me 1 second.
Anyway,
this podcast is taking a turn. This podcast is taking a turn.
yeah,
well,
somebody open a window. It is getting.
Sheesh. I don't even understand what's going on here. Anyway, but ladies, what else do you guys have for me?
I have a question from my second mama. She goes and says, "Is there any new guys in like the wrestling scene that like reminds you of you and Jimmy when you first started? Like some of the new names, like I was about to say the wrong name. Nolan Pierce, Trevor. Trevor's kind of new, but you know what I'm trying to say."
Okay. Yeah, I kind of get it. Sheesh. Well, I'll tell you what. I really am I am definitely a fan of Dio Bando. The kid works hard. He's over at Battlefield training hard. We've mixed it up in the ring, a good handful of times already. I think the kid definitely has a good future. I think as long as he just keeps pushing himself, he's definitely going to do well. It's kind of hard for me to answer the question as far as, who I see myself in, because I'm not necessarily looking at something like that. Anytime that I'm, I meet kids that are just kind of looking to get into the business, or just whether they're seeking just advice in the business, I'm not looking for, what I see myself, do I see myself in them? I'm looking to see like, what can you show me about yourself? So like with Dio, I love the guy's always working hard. He's always in the gym. He's always out there bumping and doing his thing. So again, like I think he's got a bright future. Trey is also his tag team partner. Trey is another one where I think over time you're going to see Trey's confidence really kind of show through his wrestling, and I think you're going to see a lot more out of that kid over the next couple of years. I think he's going to pleasantly surprise some people. But I mean, as far as like these young kids, honestly, I like them all. I like all of them, honestly. I'm not a father, but I am sort of like a wrestling dad. So when I get to see all these new kids coming in, and, guys are just trying to learn, I just kind of, certain ones you get to take under your wing and kind of teach them a thing or two about a thing or two. And, there's also other kids too, like every so often I get a chance to go down to the Monster Factory. So, and the Monster Factory's got a good couple kids down there that I've had a hand in, kind of bringing them up a little bit. One guy I'll give a shout out to, Nicholas Petit is a good guy. And they also have good guys too that have been in the business for a little while, but I think haven't had the best opportunity to shine yet. Like they got a great talent in the name of Marvelous down there, who him and I met at a Monster Factory seminar. It was his first time just kind of being around there, and we were pretty similar in stature. So I said, you know what, you're going to be my partner on these workouts today, brother. And we kind of hit it off ever since. So he's a great kid. He's wonderful talent. Marvelous is a great talent. The name speaks for itself. Yeah, and also other guys that I just think that don't get enough recognition. He's not a young guy whatsoever, but honestly, I think he doesn't get enough recognition. He goes by the ring name of Michelle down at the Monster Factory. He kind of does like you ever seen the movie The Ring? That's sort of basically what he's doing. And honestly, the guy is a great talent. He's nowhere near as in that like new guy range, but he's definitely a guy that I think just definitely doesn't get enough credit around here. And a tag team that we used to mix up with some time before, but we would love to get back in there with him again. I'm not sure if you two are familiar with the Rep. Nate Wallace and Dave McCall. These guys have been around just about as long as we have, and these guys are fantastic. You're talking about two professionals that, they get in the gym. They're just like Jimmy and I. They get together constantly. They're always doing things with wrestling, and it shows. We've had some 5-star matches with them, and I think if given the opportunity, we ever get the chance to get in the ring with them again, you're gonna see some more 5-star matches.
No, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm just looking at Sabrina's facial expressions, which is killing me. Because
We don't know what to say.
in the chat, we got, okay, let's start with Gavin, because Gavin's going to steal the show. He says, at the last show, I got to eat a bunch of thanks, SPF, for the snack. And then
You ate, because you ate all the go, kid. It's all good. It's all good. As long as you enjoyed it. As long as you enjoyed it. It wasn't too salty, I hope.
And then we got my dad. Carter is not under your table, Sabrina.
He's not. It's okay. This is why I kept looking under my table, because I keep dropping things on my floor, and I keep trying to pick it up. And then he said maybe your little man is, but not him. And my little man is Ruda. So
and then he says it's okay,
Mrs. Kage.
Cage.
Listen, I'm gonna put that out on this podcast right now. Not happening. He's too little for me. Like he's too,
I didn't
he's
ask.
too young.
I didn't ask.
Every podcast I get told, "Oh, Mrs. Kage." Listen.
I didn't ask. I don't. You know what I mean? Don't ask, don't tell.
Oh man,
that's your business, sister. That's your business.
And when I want it to be everybody's business, everybody will know. And I think the only person that really knows everything is this girl right over here. Because literally I'll call her being like, girl, like I need to talk to you. But oh my God. Okay, so then your dad also said, oh my God, he looked at you, Sabrina. So every PPW show since that one time, her dad has sat in front of me, and I don't know what happens to me at PPW shows. I'm very caffeinated. Is that the good word to use, Harley? Caffeinated?
Perfect word.
And
caffeinated?
I'm very hyper. Yes, caffeinated.
Okay.
And hyper.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of crazy. So every time that like Andretti would come, it's mostly Andretti would come out, I'd be like, oh my God, he looked at me. Look at him. He looked at me, like sarcastically. And then her dad started doing it back. So it's kind of just like an inside joke now of like, oh my God, he looked at me. Did you see he looked at me? He totally looked at me. So we're a bit crazy in that section, for sure.
I'm gonna give you $1 million shirt idea. I'm gonna give you some merchandise idea. Get yourself a T-shirt, just a Sabrina T-shirt that says, "Oh my God, he looked at me."
Oh my God.
Telling you.
Speaking on shirts, though, I will give you guys so much props because like you guys have a lot of different T-shirts with different logos, and I don't see that a lot at PPW or any kind of wrestling show of like different like fonts, pictures. It's just different. Like I have 2 of them. They're in my laundry basket right now, so that's why I'm not wearing it. But they're all really good, and I love to see the new ones. And every time I look at the table, I'm like, oh, I didn't see that one last time. So you guys are killing the merch game, though.
I'll be honest. When it comes to the T-shirt designs, a big part of it is definitely Jimmy himself. He's got he's very creative when it comes to his design work. But also too, we got one of our best friends out in Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, big shout out to our boy Jose Acevedo. He actually, we all grew up together. Also met around 14, 15 years old. Unfortunately, he ended up moving about maybe a couple years into the friendship, but we all still stayed in contact, even though he flew all the way out halfway across the country. But he actually is a part in a lot of our newer designs that have come out. like the Christmas design, the October Gabagools design. So big shout out to our buddy Jose over in Phoenix. He's definitely kind of really been helping us out a lot recently with a lot of our t-shirt designs. We also have some new ones coming out that I can't even really talk to y'all about right now because it's still kind of secret like. But what I can tell you is myself, Jimmy, and our buddy Jose have been putting in a lot of work, and we definitely have some more t-shirt designs that are going to be coming out. We have t-shirt designs on the back burner from even like say 2 years ago that we still haven't even put on shirts yet. So when I tell you that we get together every single day and we're putting our heads together for wrestling every single day, that's what it is.
Now, you have shirts. When are you going to make your pants?
The pants we should do right away. You were actually not the first person to ask me about that. That was kind of when we first did our pants. That was kind of like a spur of the moment thing, where it was like, you know what? Let's see if we can, let's see how pants would do, how sweatpants would do, and surprisingly enough, everybody loved the sweatpants. So we will be bringing the sweatpants back for sure. We're trying to get sweatpants. We're trying to get some hoodies together. Maybe get some hats again because we used to do hats. What do you think, ladies? Y'all think you would rock an SPF hat or what?
Listen, I would love to rock the plaid pants.
Oh shoot, that might have to be a specialty order. The the checkered pants. Those are my favorite pair of gear too, though.
They're really nice.
Definitely one of my favorite pairs.
Like every show is different, and I'm like, I think I compliment. Well, at least Jimmy. I compliment him because he's the one I see. Like, oh my gosh, your pants! Like it's always the pants. It's a staple for you guys. It's like the plaid pants. The blue ones are actually one of my favorites. So.
Oh, we have so many colors. Red, blue, the checkered, green, pink. Jimmy's going to be doing a new special color in December. So you guys will get to see that soon. We have brand new like black paisleys that we have. So we have so many different colors. I know, like, not even that long ago, I had to clear out my bag because I had about maybe 5 different pairs of gear in there, and I'm like, I don't need all these pairs. It's like I need to take a couple out of the bag here. Start planning out my bag a little bit better. It's like I have too many pairs of gear. I think we have almost at least pretty close to like 10 pairs of different color gear.
Oh wow. But that's what keeps you guys looking fresh. You know what I mean? People see a different color and they're like, oh my God, they're changing it up. And really it's just, it's the color you chose that day.
You know what I mean? It's kind of how we felt that day.
Now, is that something that you guys discussed that day, or do you guys discuss that a few days before? Like, okay, this PPW show, we're going to wear these.
It depends. Sometimes we'll discuss it a couple days beforehand. Sometimes we'll discuss it. But no later than the day before, we already know what we're going to do for that weekend. Because it also depends on what really is going on with, say, like the event. Like down at Monster Factory, their main color scheme is green, so we have a green pair of gear. We've done other events where their main color schemes were red, so we have a red pair. The checkered is honestly my favorite because of how well it fits and how breathable it is, believe it or not. The blues are also very nice, pretty flashy, I think, very babyface-esque. But, we also have pink ones for breast cancer awareness. So it's just kind of depends on what's going on for that show, that event, or if there's anything that, we ourselves are trying to get across. So but usually no later than the day before, we already know what we're going with.
Okay.
Well, since we know you have merch, where can people get the merch?
I'll tell you what, if you go to prowrestlingtees.com, all right, you put that / gimmick, you know what I'm saying? / you know what I mean? SPF wise, guys, you can actually check out all the shirts that we have available right there on the website. And hey, I mean, from what I understand, they have all these different kinds of deals going on all the time. Like 10% off here, 20% off over there. You know what I'm saying? So tell the people to check it out.
Yeah, you guys heard it. If you want your
Mic drop.
mic drop, if you want your merch,
Wow.
you know where to find it.
That's right.
And
You
if
want to
you
be the finest
don't,
of South,
you
you want
can
to be
see
the
them at
finest of
shows.
South Philly's finest. You got to be in the finest gear.
Yeah, I know. I don't wear your guys' gear to show.
That's because you're a heat starter. That's because you're over there starting heat. But we're cool right now, so we're gonna let it go. We're
Yeah.
cool right now
You know,
for the podcast. We're gonna let it go.
I think it's funny that the last PPW show, I kept getting told, Sabrina, come on, just purchase our merch, purchase our merch, purchase our merch. And I'm like, listen, I do like that you guys actually vocalize it though, and like well, Jimmy mostly. It's like t-shirts here, you know, like, and I think that's what draws people in, because it's like, oh wow, like they're out, they're vocal, they're live, and
He's
I
a
can tell
businessman.
you, yeah, for sure. And that's why when I came over at BPW, I was like, I don't care what shirt you give me, just give me a dang shirt. And I should have wore it today, and it's in the wash. So
Hey, I mean, Jimmy's a businessman. You know, you got to treat this like a business. You know, and I think that gets lost in translation sometimes. You know, it's some guys get into this, and you know, it's more of a hobby for them. And hey, whatever, you know, to each his own. That's okay. But you know, there are those of us that are really trying to do something with this. So when it comes to the merchandise, like intermission, that's our time. That's our time to really shine. You know, yes, we love wrestling, and yes, we go in there to put on the best show possible. But also at the same time, why do we do that? Because we hope you buy the merch, Daddy. We want you to buy the merch, Daddy.
the
You ain't
merch
gonna buy the
daddy.
merch if it don't look good, and if it ain't being done by some good wrestlers. If the wrestlers ain't good and the shirt don't look good, you ain't gonna wear it.
I will tell you, the merch that I do have from the wrestlers is usually because they won the match that day, and I'm like, okay. Or like if I really like them in the ring, I will tell you someone's merch. Yes, I'm going to bring this name into the podcast, Harley. What one person's merch I don't have is Tim Theory. Why? I love him outside the ring. He's a nice person, but inside the ring, I hate his guts. So why would I purchase his merch if I don't like him in the ring?
That's a Tim Theory problem.
Oh no, he knows. He knows my hatred. He knows my hatred already.
Yeah, I can't help you with that one. That's a Tim Theory problem. But no, I mean, yeah, that's a bit of a conundrum, I guess. But I know one thing that we were taught early in the business was when it comes to merchandise sales, when it comes to t-shirt designs, sometimes the best t-shirt is a wrestling t-shirt that doesn't look like a wrestling t-shirt. You know, it's something that, you want to think to yourself, can I want to envision people wearing, I'd like to see kids wearing this shirt to school. I'd like to see people wearing this shirt just to go to their corner store, or, whatever, even if it's maybe their comfortable shirt that they sleep in, whichever, sometimes wrestling gets a bad rap in the sense of like, oh, I'm not going to wear a wrestling t-shirt. So when you kind of have a design that's obviously based from wrestling, but doesn't have that wrestling t-shirt vibe, that's when, you definitely got something special. I have been blessed enough to just go even to the grocery store, and I've seen random people wearing our t-shirts, and that's how you're doing something right. It's like, okay, these guys are wearing our merch, and they're not just a wrestling event. They're just out at the store. So it's something that they feel comfortable in. It's something that they maybe even find stylish or fashionable. So that's kind of the goal that Jimmy and I try and get to every time with our merchandise and t-shirt designs.
Yeah, like I've seen your merch at Dorney Park a lot because I'm usually there. And like I'll walk around. And I'm like,
hearing that.
I'm like, oh my god! Like, and the thing is, like, I'll secretly, this is how bad I am. I'll secretly take a picture and I'll send it to Jimmy and be like, look what I just saw. Like, because I know that if I was you guys, I would want to be like, okay, I see that people are wearing my merch, cool. Like, it's out in Dorney Park. Like, who cares? And I was like, wow, like I didn't know how many people knew about you guys until I saw your merch. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it surprises us too sometimes of how far we've come in our careers. Like we've gone to the bar and have been cheered at the bar. Jimmy has been noticed several times when he's over at the Phantoms. Even me myself, when I go grocery shopping, or just maybe I'll be at Wawa even, and you have random people that just walk up to you like, "Oh, hey, I just saw you," or "I'm a fan of yours, or I see you here," or whatever it is. It's still just a humbling experience, because it's like, you think to yourself like, "Oh man, I'm just some guy from the street." Like, it's it's really humbling to know that the work that you're putting in is really having a positive effect on someone else.
No, yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
definitely.
If you're not making a positive thing on someone else, like what are you doing it for? Like, because
Exactly.
and it's so crazy because like seeing the fans, because like I love to watch the fans as well as you guys in the ring, like, but I like to watch like where the fans are at, and like the fans when they go up to wrestlers and they talk to wrestlers, it's like they're just and the wrestlers are engaging in conversation. Like, conversation is like key. So like when I see fans and wrestlers talking and like the wrestler is genuinely in that conversation wholeheartedly and not caring about anybody else around them, I love to see it, because like these fans are like, wow, like they actually paid attention to me and didn't just blow me off because, oh, I said they had a good match. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I mean, really, you guys are the most important parts of the entire show, because without you guys, there's no show. So, when you got, I know, speaking for Jim, I can only really speak for Jimmy and I when we have guys that come over to our table, or just even when they just see us in passing, and they're just, and they're so appreciative of everything that's going on. That's definitely the main reason why we keep doing this, because it's that much more motivating.
No, yeah, definitely.
Again, is when when you're able to make a positive impact on somebody, and it just kind of it takes you to a different place, and it's now you realize that wrestling is a little bit more bigger than you thought. You first get into it because you love it, because you want to compete, because you want to be world champion, whatever your true reason is. But then when you have moments like that, where you have like little Gavin that comes over and dresses like you, or fans that will genuinely write you a card for your birthday, or whatever it is, when they put their actual heart and soul into just wanting to talk to you, just to have a conversation with you, that's when you realize, like, what, this is the wrestling community is a lot bigger and a lot more important than people really let it on to be. This is this isn't just a hobby. This really isn't. This is a lot bigger than that. This is a lot more important than that.
No, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, and I think what really made it special, my first PPW show, is coming over to you and going, I actually know you from like way back when. You're like, you look familiar, and I showed you a picture, and you were like, you were taken back, because I was like, oh, he's not gonna remember. But the moment you saw the picture, you're like, okay, yeah, now I know who you are.
Yeah,
And
I
it's just
remember it was the
crazy because I
baseball
was,
field.
but yeah, but you just never know, because like it was so long ago that I was like, oh, he's probably not gonna remember. Like it, but it was really humbling as a fan to be like, okay, wow, he did remember me. That touched me a lot. So thank you.
No, it was awesome. No, because I did, because as soon as you showed me that picture, I was like, oh wow, I remember this event. Because you don't wrestle in too many baseball fields. So
Nope.
seeing that show, that immediately took me back. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember wrestling on that baseball field. How dirty my boots got that day. I absolutely remember that. But no, like I said, it is really cool to like, for like when you and I had reconnected. It was actually really cool to. It's like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, I do remember her, and she has seen me before, and it has been a long time, and yes, we are still doing this, and here she is, and it's like, wow, like things have it's, where has all the time gone? But at the same time, no, it's as great as it is for you to know that we remembered you. It's just as cool for us to see that after all this time, you're still showing us, some type of support, and that means a lot to us, for sure.
I will always support you guys, even if you guys are like walking down with a walker. I'll be like, let's go.
I don't know if we're gonna take it that far with a walker, but you know.
Could be part of a gimmick. We don't know.
Sheesh, I don't know about that one. But you know, but no, man, it's with you guys, it's awesome. It's definitely a two-way street. Without you guys, we really wouldn't want. You know, there's no reason to keep doing this without you guys, without the fans, without the support, without the people believing in us. And you know, whether it's PPW, Battlefield, Monster Factory, Three Legacies, doesn't matter where, whatever it is, wherever we're at, the respect and everything that we get from the fans and the supporters, it's always so overwhelming at times. It's like, wow, like you're really making a positive impact. So like I said, you just realize how much bigger this really is. So I mean, look at you guys. You guys have your own podcast, which is awesome. You know, I got to watch the both. I basically myself even got to watch the both of you guys kind of grow up. And, you know, the two of you have kind of come together as your own tag team now. And you guys are, you know, tag team champions of podcast here that you try to do. And no, it's
Don't cry.
And it's awesome. You know, it's great to see that. It's awesome hearing that we've had some type of positive impact, whether, you know, you guys are doing a wrestling podcast or whatever. It's an honor and a pleasure for me myself to be on here. I know that when Jimmy gets the time, he will definitely be on here, and I know he'll feel the same way. But, you know, just as much as you guys are proud of us as what we've done, we're also just proud of you guys as well for what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you.
But in the chat, we actually have UCW. They said nobody is more involved with their fans than SPF.
Oh, man. You Undisputed Championship Wrestling, dude, we appreciate you guys for sure. No, we love our people. That's all. You know, we're South Philly's finest, the city of brotherly love. So when we get love, we like to show love back. That's really what it is. You know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You show me love, I'm gonna show you love right back.
You hear it here, folks. You heard it here, folks.
I agree. Sabrina, it's your turn. Ask a question. Unless you just want to call it quits here.
That's a lot of pressure on you right there. Now,
let's make this the final question so that we put that much more pressure on you. Make it a good one.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh God. So I think I think the people want to know, when are you going to get the belts back?
When are we going to get the belts back? Oh gosh. Well, I could tell you right now. We have a couple right now. So, but as far now, if you're talking about PPW and you know, if we're talking about strictly just PPW,
right now, yeah.
When it comes to PPW, when that time comes, when we get to that bridge, we will cross it. We have been blessed enough to hold those championships for a record amount of times. You know, we have kind of built our own names as being one of the, if not the top tier tag team in PPW. So the belts are all, you know, those championships are always on our minds. Those championships, no matter what, I'll be honest, they will always feel like they belong to myself and Jimmy, because of the history we have with this company and the amount of work that we've put in with this company. But you know, when that time comes, when we do get that opportunity, you know, we'll capitalize on it. Right now, it's more or less about Jimmy and I just making sure that we stay on the right track. We stay cohesive as a team. We take out every single obstacle that comes our way. You know, there's a lot of new up and coming guys that are trying to test themselves, and hey, I have no problem, you know, putting some young kids in their place if need be. That's fine. Because the championships, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. What's important right now is, you know, we want to build up the tag team division, but also too, anybody that wants to challenge one of the finest tag teams on the East Coast, we're absolutely ready and raring to go at any point, because, you know, the gravy train just keeps on rolling. But again, when that opportunity does present itself, whether it's championship material, Who knows? Whether it's Primal Fear, it could be Tom Mitchell and Johnny Moran. It doesn't matter who has it. At the end of the day, when that time comes, we will, as we have been known to do, we will rise to the occasion.
Amen.
I will put this plug in real quick. That I do want our listeners and anybody who's watching this to stream Jimmy's music, because I know that that's something that I love too. It's Jimmy Conway on Apple Music, at basically any platform that you can get music on.
Also on Spotify. My buddy's on Spotify.
Right. And it's called Family Over Everything is his album. So go check it out. It's a lot of good songs and you won't be disappointed.
Definitely not. Oh,
I just want to put that in there because I support his music too as well, because I was listening to it. It's a good gym album for me because I am a very country girl. So when I hear his music,
he put a lot of heart and soul into that album. So Family Over Everything is a great album. So for sure, definitely appreciate that. Whether just Apple Music, Spotify, even those who have Dat Piff, just find Jimmy Conway, look up Family Over Everything. It's definitely a great album. I mean, whether you're in the gym, you could be in the car, you could be sitting in your bedroom, you could be causing heat on a podcast, Harley. Either way, there's always a good time to play that album for sure. But you guys are awesome.
The lyrics are great. So make sure when you see Jimmy, just let him know. But I love the lyrics. The lyrics are very deep, and his hard work is paying off. So I can't wait to see where this takes him in the future as well.
I will definitely let him know you guys said that. That's very appreciated. Thank you.
Other than that, Harley,
just really quick in the chat, because I don't want to blow them off. We have Undisputed Championship Wrestling saying, I think I have more SPF shirts than UCW shirts. I know my kids do. I can definitely.
I love it. Oh man, that's awesome. I need a UCW shirt myself.
So do I. Harley.
That's pretty awesome. Just again, like Jimmy, and shouts out to our boy Jose over in Phoenix. They're just always doing their things with their designs. I do have my occasional thoughts, my 2 cents I throw in there myself, but Jose and Jimmy, those two are a great tandem when it comes to putting everything together. So, and I think I just saw, now I'm starting to see the chat myself here. And I think our good old buddy Hector, he's also another up and coming kid from the Battlefield School. He's talking about one of the jerseys that he has. Yes, we used to make jerseys too. I have done a couple football jerseys. Have done a couple SPF football jerseys, and Hector's a good kid. He's another kid that works really hard at that training center. And he's I think he actually has the last one that we made.
Oh wow, Hector, you better be holding on to that.
Yeah, I think he has the last one that we made. So he's always a great kid. Definitely works hard at the training center.
I got to meet Hector at BPW, and he came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, I watch your podcast," and I was like, "Oh, dude."
No, he's a good kid. Like I said, everybody from that training center is a good kid. I haven't met anybody from the Battlefield training center that has given me any bad vibes. They're all great kids. They're all working hard. And like the stellar ref Tommy Pro, he's always there working hard. Hector, like I said, is a great kid, up and coming kid that you're going to see pop in on the circuit soon. His name is Bryce Reedus. He's a great kid. Another kid that's working hard, Joe. The girls there, Sierra and Nieta, they're doing great. You're going to see, I think within the next several months, you're going to start to see a lot of good kids and a lot of good names, a lot of good talent come out of Battlefield. Just remember the names that I am mentioning tonight. Remember these names. I think you're going to be seeing them come on the scene. And I think when you do, I think you're going to be asking them to be on the podcast eventually.
Oh, I've already been after Bryce the whole time at BPW. I was like, so when are you going to make your debut, buddy? Come on. I'm waiting for it.
There you go.
And there you go. No,
Bryce is a good kid. He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorite kids. He's a good kid. But no, like I said, that entire training center, I have nothing but good things to say about Battlefield and what Off is doing over there. Every single person over there is working hard.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just got to throw two more things out there just because we had UCW in the chat. I just have to, show a little love towards them. But first, PPW recently just came out with their 2022 to 2023 edition of the training cards. So I have to show them off. So let me.
I don't have any of the trading cards. Let's just put that out there.
That's because you're behind.
Yeah,
you don't have any good. Apparently your taste isn't good enough because our trading cards are badass.
I like SPF. So what do you mean by
our trading cards are badass?
No, but yeah, there's definitely this is the pre-sale. If you guys haven't seen, obviously you two have, but like Luca said, Luca and Jimmy have a card. Trevor Kahe has a card. There's so many of these names have a card. But me and
Ruda has a card.
Personally, I think me and Sabrina should be on a card because why not?
ABJ is on a card too. So like, where's our card?
Hey, why don't you get all right? So like, why don't you guys work on your own podcast card? That'd be kind of cool, right?
Seriously, yeah.
See, I'm chock full of ideas. I just want 10% royalties. That's all. You know what I mean? That's a fair deal.
Your dad just said, you suck, Sabrina. Always the last one to the dinner table. It's so true. But, I think it's because I just joined PPW too late for a while. So I'm just a little behind.
It's all good. You're still at the dinner table. Better to be late than never.
I'd love to be at the kids' table sometimes, There's
nothing wrong with the kids' table because the kids' table's got good juice.
Right, and good conversation.
Good conversation, good juice. Sometimes they got a little snack pack there for you too. But ladies, I definitely appreciate you guys having me on the show. This has been, a lot of fun. I am definitely going to get Jimmy on here for sure. First chance I get, we're gonna put the schedules together, make sure that he's not so busy. We're definitely gonna get on here together, and we're gonna do this again. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back.
Can't wait for that day to come.
Right?
But ladies, thank you guys so much. Big shout outs to you guys. Again, I'm really proud of you guys for what you guys are doing. I've got to watch both of you guys grow up too. So now that seeing you guys do your podcast, that's awesome. Guys, I'd love to say, just keep doing what you're doing with this podcast. I would love to see you guys get more guests. And who knows? Here's another little tidbit idea for you before I fly. Maybe, just maybe, you guys should consider doing your live podcast at a at a Battlefield or PPW event.
I'm a different person at those shows.
We do have intermissions for a reason. So who knows? Maybe you could find yourself setting up a table and doing your live podcast during an event. Who knows? But hey, I'm only a 15-year vet. What do I know?
Well,
all right, guys. Well, we're gonna jet. I don't know what's going on.
We gonna fly, guys.
We gonna fly, but make sure you tune in tomorrow at 7 because we have Harley,
Raheem Royal.
Yeah. Say it better. You can say it better than that. Say it better than that.
Raheem Royal.
There you go.
So you're not going to want to miss it.
You're not going to miss it. Tune in at 7 o'clock, guys. We will talk to you later. Bye.
All right, guys. I'm the Line Luca Brasi. Thank you for having me. Peace.